Alright, it's your boy iDef, and I'm back with another review for you guys, and this time we're doing a 2-for-1. Both are going to be Black Series, but we got Darth Vader from A New Hope, and then we got, you know, Darth Maul from The Phantom Menace. Personally, my favorite Sith. Let's take a look at Darth Maul. Darth Vader's, I've already messed the video up. It's over. No, I'm just kidding, but, this is a little bit older style of their box. I think I was just looking at the back. It was like from 2023. You got a little bio on there. Always love to see that. But a pretty simple box. You can tell there's really nothing else in there with them, which is, you know, whatever. And then you got Darth Maul with the newer box. It's square, like the same thing they did with Marvel Legends. But you got the image on the side. Nothing on this side. He actually does have a little bio, so that's cool. And then the same little image on the back. And he doesn't come with like a clip or anything, but like there's parts of the movie where he doesn't have the clip, so I'm not like upset about it. I'm just saying he doesn't include it. I'm letting you know. But yeah, they're fine boxes. But let's go ahead and run it through the old iDef system. Is the figure in good shape? Does the figure function as intended? Everything that's included with the figure, plus scaling, and then just my final thoughts. Usually a little pose at the end when I'm talking about it too, unless I forget. Alright, and here they are at a package. I know usually I don't pose them out like this, but is the figure in good shape, or is the figures in good shape, which I know is improper grammar, but shut up. I couldn't really find anything wrong with them. The biggest flaw I could find with either of them is that the ball joint in his neck, that is in the neck side, is a little bit loose, but that's fixable. This isn't a QC issue unless it is, and he's supposed to have it, but he doesn't have the little piercing. Like, there's no painting where he should have the piercing, which not a big deal. I happened to notice. But yeah, they both look really good for being Black Series, which, you know, I've only done 2 reviews, but you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of them. I think they could be a lot better. But these are pretty cool. I'm excited to get into them and show you guys the articulation and whatnot. But yeah, let's go ahead and cut it. All right. So here's Darth Vader. Does the figure function as intended? Let's just start at his head. Good. That's about as far as I would imagine Darth Vader could really feasibly look both directions. I'm not gonna hold it. You could push it further, but you're gonna be pushing the cape and scraping this. That's all you're getting for forward and back, which again, I don't really know if Vader could look up more than that, which I'm not trying to justify. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't irk me too much personally, but if you're upset by it, you're totally justified. Like, I get it. But that's what it is. So moving on to his arms, though. I don't know if his cape's getting caught on there or not. I think it might be. No, I think it's actually designed pretty well to where that won't happen. So it goes up about that far. It's about perfectly. I keep forgetting if it's a 45-degree or 90-degree angle, and I feel really dumb, but it's about there, you know what I'm saying? No bicep swivel, which is pretty common with a Black Series, but the elbow swivels. And then so he doesn't have any like forearms, which forearm swivel is not needed ever. Like, anatomically speaking, it makes more sense, but like for a figure, it doesn't really make sense, you know what I'm saying? But also the basic, you know, just one way swivel on the wrist. Nothing too crazy going on there. Surprisingly though, I didn't think he was gonna get any torso articulation at all. Like, this is him base. He can go back a little bit, and like, you can kind of tuck him in and get that flush, and you can very slightly get him more. That's it, though. Like, you're not getting anything else. You can get a little bit of side to side, and you can twist him. Again, I'd be careful because you're going to start pulling the cape around and stuff, and it's going to be a bad time. I'm sure it's readjustable. I don't know how much of it's glued in there or whatever, but just be careful. No drop down. I wouldn't have expected it on a Black Series, especially like on Darth Vader. That's a good kick though for Darth Vader. Like, it goes out a little bit, but like, that's not bad. Like, you could have him throwing like kind of a low, like, oh, like, I feel like Vader definitely would throw like one of those like low Spartan kicks. That's not too bad. And then he definitely ain't doing no splits. But hey, you know what? Vader ain't doing no splits, so I'm not mad about it. Got thigh swivel. Always needed. Never complained about it once. And look at that, bro. I don't think Vader needs a bend that good, but I'm glad he has one. And then there's no sort of calf swivel or anything, but he does have a pivot. And then it goes pretty decently far. Not too far up, though. We hate that. I personally, that irks me, bro. And then his ankle doesn't turn either, so there's not really a lot to... little limiting, but I'm not, again, really that... let me just say, for the price point, you're probably not going to find a better Darth Vader. Like, just bar none, like, he's pretty cool. But, if you really are, like, going for a cool one, like Mafex or SH Figure Arts is really going to be your best bet. But yeah, I would say overall, especially if you're taking into consideration, like, maybe they were trying to realistically do his articulation, he functions as intended, in my honest opinion. Now, if you want to say no figure should be limited, they should all have as much articulation as possible, you could say he doesn't function as intended. But I'm just going to be fair with him and say he functions pretty much as intended. We're not even going to cut. We're not even going to cut. Look at that. Here's Darth Vader. He was just chilling on the side the whole time. It's funny, he has like a double ball joint and stuff and all that. He still can't really look up that high. He can look up pretty far down. Got a good tilt. He just can't look up, really. The way his face looks makes it like look like he's looking up really well, but he really can't. I can't tell if his neck moves too. I think his neck also has a little bit going on, but it doesn't do too much. But you definitely get some expression in there, so that's good. We got to go back to Vader. I'm so sorry. It is what it is. That's just how it has to go. I had to check to see if he has any butterfly, which he does not. I just had to confirm and show you guys that he does not have butterfly joints. Now, back to Darth Vader. He actually has butterfly joints, dude. I didn't realize that. Like, they're straight up butterfly joints on him. Now, that's not that big of a deal, usually. I don't think I've seen butterfly joints on a Black Series, but again, these two are out of the four I have, like, that's it. Like, these are the two other out of the four, so. But that's nice to see some butterfly on these. That's pretty cool. I'm sorry, I wasn't really talking while I was doing that, but there's no bicep, obviously, but it's got a pretty deep bend, and it swivels at the elbow. And then, I don't like this, but he has like a forearm swivel, and it is oriented, or like you can tell how it's supposed to be oriented, so you can put it back to where it's supposed to go, but I can't really think you'd need that. Like, anyways, I feel like yeah, there we go. You can get him pretty decently far back. And then, how far? I don't want to break him, but I'm trying to mess around and see, like, if there's something I'm missing with the articulation. Because when you go back with him, if you get him, you kind of got to get over that lip, and he'll go back further. Once you get over this lip over here, I don't think it really matters. He just doesn't really go that far forward, and you can't really pull a screw down. So, yeah, you can't get it super far forward, but he's got a decent bit back, which I think is more important in certain ways for getting some certain poses out of him. But you do get some good side to side, which is really cool. And then he twists there. So that's acting as like his waist and his torso, which is interesting. Unless he does have like an independent torso under here. It doesn't look like he does. Alright. Had to confirm that. And then I thought he was going to be really hindered because of the skirt. It's super soft. He can full on kick out. So don't even worry about that. And it seems like they will come back down eventually. Look at how... Oh, okay. Okay, this is a pretty good Darth Maul. I'm going to say it right here. I'm not saying he's perfect, and he could definitely use more accessories, but just already right here, like, I didn't know I was going to be able to do that much with him. Crazy, bro. And then he's got single jointed knees, but that's not bad, like, especially for a single jointed. And then the joints also swivel, and I forgot to mention he's got the thigh swivel too, you know. Imagine if he had dropped down too, that would have been crazy. He even has a little bit of boot swivel, but it only really goes outward. It doesn't really go in. So, But, yeah, there we go. It goes back nice and far, which I love that. Sometimes with certain figures, if you turn the foot like this and then put it all the way up and then turn it like this, you can get it up a little bit further to get a little more range, but you can't really do that with him. But it's not anywhere in like ranges of complaint level for me personally. Wow. I think even once I get my SH Figure Arts Darth Maul open, I'm probably going to keep this dude. He's pretty cool. Like, he'll be a Darth Maul I feel comfortable taking places and not worrying about messing him up, but like, he's still cool enough to like keep. Wow. Also, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna keep this Darth Vader even once I get an SH Figure Arts. Like, he's pretty snazzy. I won't lie. But let's get into their accessories, which they don't have a lot of. For Darth Vader, here's his lightsaber. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I should have said for everything that's included. But, it's pretty well painted. Like, nice amount of detail. Boop. Comes right off. And check this out. Boop. Now, I'll tell you right now, you're going to want to pose him and then put that on. Like, there's no shot that thing stays when you're trying to pose. Like, it's just not going to. It has no weight to it. So I imagine it wants to come off here. Also, be really careful with this. It's very fragile. I haven't broken it, obviously, but I could just see how easily it could break. Just be very careful, especially the first time you take your lightsaber out. Or if you're putting a lightsaber in your hands, you know what I'm saying? Just be careful. Now, I just don't even want to say anything for a second. I wasn't even expecting it. So the first thing I want to show you is it comes apart. So that is extremely cool. There were no instructions or anything to tell me that it did that. So I just wasn't necessarily expecting it to do that. And then, as you would probably assume, these come out. But with him, instead of having like a little hook type little thing on there, it's just got like a little peg. And his is probably even worse, I'm going to imagine. Like, this probably does not stay in there well. Oh my gosh. Can we even get it in on camera, bro? I don't even think it'll stay, to be honest. Oh. Well, let me pause it. I'll be right back. Alright, I just want to mention on my part, I forgot to turn off my light while I was doing that, so I probably just killed my batteries. I wanted to make a review tomorrow, but I don't know if I have enough light. We'll see. But, the peggle was just tremendously massive compared to the peg, so it is just floating in there. Like, I can remove his arm and it'll stay in there, but if you try to do anything with it, if you pose him in any way, it cannot fully sit in there, I don't think it'll hold. And I don't know if there's really any way to remedy that, so if you want more static poses with him not holding his lightsaber, you're kind of screwed. Me personally, I don't really need that. It does still suck though, so check this out. So, see if I can even lift his arm up without it falling out. No. That was going to be the whole bit too, was I was going to lift it and like maybe it would stay there for a second and fall out, and it didn't even do that. Oh yeah. Dude. Hasbro, what are you doing? Like, how is it so hard to get a peg hole right? But yeah, that's everything that's included with them, just lightsabers. But let's go ahead and scale them. I'm just going to leave them together because why not? I'll be right back. Alright, in here they are with the Mandalorian, and I never realized how little of a guy Darth Maul is. But I went the Mandalorian first because I figured they might have both met him. Possibly. Who knows? I don't know. But either way, there's some scaling. And then for more characters who have never met, as far as I know, Darth Maul and Han Solo never met. And then, obviously, Darth Vader never met Han Solo as an old man because he would have been dead at that point already. So, again, kind of irrelevant scaling, but that's what I got. I don't have any of my SH figures open yet, but, just wait. Once I get that Darth Maul open, they will be compared, and, you know, if there's any saving graces to getting him, I will tell you, but I know the SH figure is probably going to come out on top. I'm not going to lie to you, but, yeah. Look at these bad boys. Okay, so for Darth Vader, I did kind of copy a pose off Google. I just kind of looked up Darth Vader iconic poses. For Darth Maul, I kind of freeformed it, but I was kind of going off of that one scene where he's attacking Qui-Gon Jinn when he's trying to get back to the ship on Tatooine. Dude, they're dope. I'm not gonna lie. I think like Black Series should be cheaper for what they are, for being the same price as like Marvel Legends, and they're both owned by Hasbro, yet they're not using the same articulation and stuff. I'm not saying they need to change the molds to like the same exact stuff as Marvel Legends, but like I really wish they would start implementing Marvel Legends articulation. But regardless, both these figures go pretty hard in my opinion. If you're not trying to shell out big bucks, these are both good options. And you can probably get custom parts for them, whatever. Like they're usable and they look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy with them. But I think that's going to be it. I hope this was informative, and I hope it helps you guys decide whether or not you want to pick these up or not. Usually I don't have a lot of good stuff to say about Black Series with these. Mostly good, to be honest. But I think that's it.